recipient, Angela Atkins.
The 2016 Distinguished Teaching Award recipient is Stephen J. Edgehouse. As Steve comes forward, I will introduce him. Steve taught his first college writing class in 1999. He joined the English department at Stark State College in January of 2012, having previously served on the faculties of Bowling Green State University and North Central State College. He teaches writing mostly in the downtown Canton Satellite Center and to College Credit Plus students online. He has helped to develop new curriculum for the English department's developmental course sequence and is completing work on an English department handbook. Educational technology and the best ways to use it is an ongoing interest of Steve's. Within the last few years, he has presented at departmental, college, state, and national conferences on subjects such as using and avoiding learning management systems, flipping classes through TED Talks, and managing digital distractions in the classroom. Steve's wife, Dr. Melissa Askren Edgehouse, is the chair of Mount Union's educational department. His 4-year-old daughter, Estelle, has inherited her father's love of all things Indiana Jones. His 2-year-old son, Keller, is a fearless daredevil and has the stitches to prove it. Steve is an avid runner. His wife might use an adjective other than avid for that hobby. And last Sunday, he ran the Hall of Fame Marathon in Canton. Ask him how it went if you like being bored or have 20 minutes to kill. You can also follow him on Twitter at Steve Edgehouse. Let's bring Steve to the microphone.
Thank you, Brenda. First, I'd like to thank the Distinguished Teaching Award Committee for bestowing this honor on me. It was a true pleasure to welcome those committee members into my classroom and to share my teaching philosophies and experiences with them. I don't think any educator's journey is ever a solitary one, and certainly many people have joined me on mine. And so I'd like to thank the following people who have inspired me, who have galvanized my teaching, who have shared their experiences and expertise with me in formal and informal settings, and those people who have outright stolen from over the years. First and foremost, Dr. Kelly Lowe, my advisor, my mentor, my good friend. I miss him every day. Dr. Donna Nelson Bean at Bowling Green, my first boss and my best champion. My BGSU colleagues, Paul Bissa, Abby Cloud, Dustin Parsons, Jay Jones, Heather Momeyer, Mike Chisnansky, Karen Prega. Deb Heisel at North Central State College, another great boss, just lousy with awesome bosses my entire career. And Dr. Kara Jones, who I wish a speedy recovery to, and who's given me so many opportunities already during my short time here. The English and Modern Languages Department has absolutely upped my game in my time here at Stark. To work with so many passionate, hardworking, truly invested educators on a daily basis is exhilarating, it's enthralling, it's often surprisingly so. I don't think I'm speaking out of turn when I say we have probably the most interesting department meetings on campus. What do you think, Beth? Yeah. I'd like to thank all those colleagues of mine, Trisha, Justin, Nicole, Dwayne, Sandy, Elizabeth, Robert, Nick, Marie, Jen, Leah, Catherine, Tom? Yes. Tom, and Amy. Special shouts, though, to our writing coordinator, Marie Stokes, who is tireless in her efforts representing our department at large, and also just being indefatigable in her efforts to make our department wonderful. And I should also mention she's always right. Also, special shouts to my chair, Beth Williams, who makes doing so very much look so very easy. I'm married to a chair, and I don't know how they do it. So, thank you. I'd like to say I shared this award with all of my department members, but I'd also like to say I do not share my stipend. I grew up in Dunn Glen, Ohio, And it's not so much a town as it is a collection of 50 or so houses, identical houses, built in 1904 by a coal company. My dad, Steve, who's here, he walked into his first coal mine as a teenager. He walked out of his last coal mine at the age of 60. My mother, Sheila, was an LPN before she decided to devote her life to raising her two boys, me and my brother, Troy. Troy and I did not grow up around a lot of college graduates, per se. But that never for a second stopped my parents from instilling in both of us the absolute essential nature of higher education. It's a silver bullet. It's the thing that can make you anything you want to be. To pursue that dream took vision, and it took sacrifices, too many for me to name here, by my parents. But they did, given where we're from, not the easiest or most attainable goal. Mom and Dad, without your remarkable investment in your children's futures, I have no idea where we'd be. Well, I think we know where Troy would be. Thanks for making anything possible, truly. You two, along with Bob and Jan Smith, my mother-in-law and father-in-law, you're the four single greatest grandparents any of us could ever ask for. Thank you for everything you do to support and sustain us. It means everything. Melissa, you're a fantastic educator. You are an accreditation expert par excellence. You're a peerless cook. You cook so good. You're the best conversation I'm ever going to have every day. And you're what every single loving mother should ever aspire to be. I treasure the life we've made for each other over these last 15 years of marriage. I can't wait to see what the future holds for us. Stelly Belly and Keller Beller, you're my babies. You're my best friends. You make our lives whole in ways I can't even fathom. I hope you're jumping on our bed right now because our babysitter is kind of cool like that. Okay, so I spend a lot of time thinking about the conditions that change in our field. Mostly I do that through the lens of technology, the tools we use to help teach. The times they changed. 15 years ago, or so when I started teaching, I would come home from classes, covered in chalk dust. Some classrooms, not all of them, but a lot of them, I would be lucky enough to have a working overhead projector, right on the papers. What else? I'd ask the AV club to wheel in a TV VCR combo into my classroom if I wanted to assign an episode of Buffy that day, right? I'd bring my CD player from my apartment in the early days, so I could play music for my students during workshop days. And my bag was always completely full of student essays because I would have to take them home and, believe it or not, grade them by hand. Those times, of course, change, and what I do now looks nothing like what I did 15 years ago. I stream Pandora, from the projector. I use back channeling in my classes. I always have a Twitter feed going on. Most of my teaching, though, it happens online. It's quiet. It's in my office. It's so very different from what I kind of came to know teaching to be. Students, believe it or not, they don't write their papers as much as they talk them into their phones on their work breaks. Things change. I flipped my classroom. I teach digital Sabbaths. I make my students unplug for 24 hours from technology, and they hate me for it, but they write really good essays. I haven't written on an essay in probably 8 years, I think, with a pen, which is great for everybody involved because I have all these writing degrees and my handwriting is completely awful. One thing that is never changed, though, as much as I think about the changes, I like to think about what stays the same as well. And it's my need, and I hope every teacher's need, to connect with their students. The first day of every class has been the same for me since day one. What brings you here? Who or what has brought us to this room together? And it used to be a little harder, with a little more conversation, but now students get their phones out and they show me their pictures. They show me pictures of their kids, or their spouses, or their grandkids, or their motorcycles, or their knitting projects, or their brand new Jordans. And I get to hear about their lives. I get to hear about, with some prodding, they'll tell me a little bit about themselves. They'll tell me about the challenges that they've overcome, the obstacles that they've faced, just to get to my classroom. Okay, and in the process of those conversations, I end up sharing a little bit of myself as well. Tell me if this sounds familiar. First in my family to go to college. horrible time management skills as a college freshman, and with the grades to prove it. I had to learn how to be a student when I went away to college. Shy in the classroom, always as a student. Shy in many meetings because maybe my ideas aren't as good as others. I've not had that validation, right? And it's a shyness I kind of combat daily, even now. But they bring me closer to my students, they connect me to them, even in online settings. And from there, from that common ground that we build, common ground that I can't find anywhere else but at community college, by the way, that's where we begin our work. We start getting their writerly voices to sound more academic. We start to make them sound more professional so that their good ideas, their trusted wisdom, their hard-fought knowledge gets through to their readers, no matter where they are, no matter who they are. Those ideas shine through. That's my goal, always. Technology, it's nice, and I study it, and it's important, but it's not necessary. That human connection is necessary, for my money's worth. I feel sincerely lucky to call Stark County my home, and I take this recognition as an indication that I'm doing all that I can to help it, to improve it, and that means a great deal to me. And the fact that I'm able to do so at an institution whose stated mission goal is to make college affordable and attainable for anybody who deigns to dream for a better life for themselves, well, that's it. That's what it's all about, right? So I feel deeply grateful for this opportunity to speak with you. And for what it's worth, I have to say this as well. I want to thank the dozens of students over the years who have gotten their student evaluation forms, their class evals out, and decided to tell my chair, my deans, my superiors, the same quote. It's come up for my entire teaching career. I can't tell if he's being sarcastic or not. All right, thank you.